In the next part, we'll explore why the poor are so afraid of Bitcoin in the first place. What is it about this digital asset that triggers such fear, doubt, and ridicule from those who could benefit most? Why does the same thing that attracts the rich repel the poor? The answer lies not in the technology but in the psychology. Fear is powerful. It shapes behavior, clouds judgment, and, makes people run from opportunities they don't understand when it comes to Bitcoin. Fear is the dominant emotion among the average person. Not curiosity, not excitement, fear. And this fear takes many forms. Fear of losing money, fear of scams, fear of volatility, fear of being too late, or even worse, fear of being too early. The irony is, while the rich interpret Bitcoin's volatility as a feature of opportunity, the poor see it as a red flag. But why? The answer starts with trust, or rather the lack of it. Most people grew up trusting traditional systems: banks, governments, fiat money, retirement accounts. These were the pillars of financial safety. To suggest that a decentralized digital currency created by an anonymous figure could be safer than a bank, well, that's a tough idea for many to accept. The poor don't just fear Bitcoin because it's unfamiliar. They fear it because it challenges everything they've been taught to trust. And on top of that, the media, mainstream news, often reinforces this fear. Every time Bitcoin dips, headlines call it a crash. Every hacker story, every regulatory rumor, every celebrity tweet gone wrong, it all gets amplified. Sensationalism sells, and fear, well, it clicks better than facts. So the poor, who rely heavily on public news to understand the financial world, end up absorbing a constant stream of half-truths and worst-case scenarios. They're not just uninformed, they're misinformed. Then comes the emotional weight of losing money. For someone living paycheck to paycheck, even a small loss feels enormous. Bitcoin swings up 10%, down 20%. Might seem like noise to a wealthy investor, but to a working-class person who saved $100 to invest for the first time, a sudden dip feels like betrayal. That emotional impact, it creates trauma. One bad experience, one poorly timed purchase, and they're out forever. Bitcoin burned me, they say, but what really burned them was their lack of knowledge and a timing game. They never understood. Compare this to the rich. They have buffers. They don't invest money they can't afford to lose. They think in decades, not days. If Bitcoin goes down 30%, they wait. If it goes down 60%, they buy more. Their fear is controlled by time and strategy, but the poor don't have that luxury. Their decisions are urgent, emotional, and reactive, and the same price movement that excites the rich terrifies the poor. Let's not forget. Shame. There's a stigma around financial ignorance. Many people feel embarrassed to admit they don't understand Bitcoin. So rather than ask questions, they dismiss it entirely. It's a scam. It's too late. Only tech people get it. These are defense mechanisms, not rational conclusions. It's honestly just easier to reject something than to actually explore it and risk looking deeper. But, being uninformed like this, well, it really creates a deeper gap. There's this growing divide between those who actually study and take action, and those who just watch from the sidelines and wonder. And honestly, the poor often suffer from what you might call the lottery mindset. They're often chasing fast wins because they feel stuck in these cycles of debt or low income. So when they do finally engage with Bitcoin, they don't really treat it like a long-term asset. Instead, they treat it more like a casino. It's like, buy now, hope it doubles next week. And, this just leads to that classic boom and bust behavior. Buying when everyone's euphoric, selling when panic hits. That's not really investing, it's just gambling. And when the gamble fails, the lesson isn't actually learned, it just gets buried under anger. But perhaps the most tragic part is that Bitcoin was made for them. It was created in response to the 2008 financial crisis, a system meant to empower individuals to take control away from centralized power and put it back into people's hands. It doesn't care about your credit score, it doesn't discriminate by nationality or status. Anyone with a phone can own it, store it, send it, and protect their wealth without asking permission. Yet the very people who need it most are the ones most afraid of it. This isn't a judgment. It's a wake-up call. The system has conditioned the poor to fear independence, to believe that security only comes from big institutions, that freedom is risky. That playing safe means staying poor. But the truth is, fear isn't a strategy. Avoidance won't build wealth, and skepticism without investigation is just another form of submission. If you look closely, you'll see the same pattern across history. When a new technology threatens the status quo, it's mocked, ridiculed, and dismissed, especially by those with the least power. The printing press, the internet, mobile phones, in the beginning, the elite adopt quietly, the masses hesitate, and by the time it's normalized, the price of entry is too high. Bitcoin is just the latest chapter in that story. The difference is, this time the door is still open, for now.